This is the Marex 360 Cabriolet Cruiser. Cabriolet, hope I'm saying that right. This boat is fast, luxurious, and ultra practical if you want a serious couples, families cruiser that can be operated with ease, solo or short-handed. She's got quite a few engine options, so she's going to be suitable all around the world. You've got multiple stern drive and shaft drive options should you wish, and we are going for a test drive in the next video if you would like to see that and learn a little bit more. But first of all, I wanted to do that demonstration of opening up these beautiful clears and the roof to show you how simple the operation of this boat is, because it really is a hallmark of this Marex brand. And it's all about this space here and allowing it to change with you and change with the weather, obviously. So they've gone into minute details into how they've designed this curtain system, allowing the clears to press up against the fiberglass here and the elastics that hook down over these hooks here. It really does create a sealed environment, and you're super protected. If a storm rolls in, you can clearly knock out the sun and then open it up as you see fit. But this area, it's been designed with corners in mind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, everyone can do a bit of this in places like this. It's really, really pleasant, and no matter where you are, you're conversing with your mates. So it's a wonderful, wonderful space. And if you pay attention to the roof line, it ends right there. So if you are in a hotter country, you do have protection from the sun or rain. And when you need to pull those clears across, you can. So it's a very, very clever design. And at this size, she's a little bit, hovering around about that 37 feet LOA. It's super manageable. You're going to fit into a lot of marina berths, and short-handed, not a problem whatsoever. So underneath the port side, deep storage on gas struts, hinge. You don't need to take the cushions off to get in there. Same again on the starboard side. These garages for the curtains are fantastic. I think it was 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and that's only the second time I've had a go at that. So I'm sure I could get that time down with a little bit more practice. Engine access is underneath me on the center line. We're going to get back to that, and we're also going to come back to the swim platform in a second. So just keep watching if that's of interest. Beautiful big opening cockpit table there. We've got the drink holders in the middle. That will drop down, and it also swivels around for access into the engine bay. We've got a cushion that pops over that and turns this into a bit of a sun lounge. We've got charging. We've got even TV aerials on this side, light switches, down lights, speakers. The roof is a manual operation. It's super simple. I kind of like that because it is keeping the complexity level down. So if you're a boater, you know that keeping the complexity level down means that you just do more boating. Underneath me right here is life rafts storage. You can do a soft pack life raft in there. And this galley area is awesome. So we're keeping the accommodation downstairs. We've got 2 beautiful cabins, a toilet and a separate shower. But by doing this design, we can both enjoy the ride when we're underway, because we've still got a beautiful seat here for navigator or passenger, and see how this corner theme has been carried forward. But when we are at rest, we can do this, and we'll actually, how good's this? I've seen this on old-fashioned sailing yachts, but that's great use of space to carry that through onto a powerboat. And now we have a galley that this would be at home on a 40+ foot boat, on a 45 foot boat, a big U-shaped galley like this. And we've got oodles of refrigeration. So we've got big drawer fridges here and here. We've actually got a freezer on that side, boom, boom, and lots of drawers. These are all soft closed drawers down here, deeper drawers in here, and we've even got the fiddles for your plates so they don't rock around underway. Cutlery drawer in here. The cutting boards have got their own space, so they can just slot in like so. And obviously you can even use them as a backsplash should you need. This is a twin sink, and then nice little funky flexible hose there. We've got a gas burner on this one. I'll show you the gas storage out back a little bit later, but you can electrify that. The engine bay on this boat is huge because we're running a single diesel on this one. You can option it with the twins. So you can do generator and all of that should you wish, but you can also do gas like a traditional sailing yacht would have. So I'm sure sailors are going to be find this brand or this boat appealing because it's that sort of traditional, conservative, well-built vibe is what you get. So moving forward, we've got wraparound glass like this. This is useful if you're driving in a busy waterway. So if you're in a harbour or a lake or wherever you are with lots of boat traffic and you're trying to manage your guests and you're trying not to bump into anyone else, it's great to have a good line of sight all the way around and aft and not too much hindering your view aft, because if you're going to do a turn, you want to make sure no one is speeding up behind you from your blind spot. So having this design allows you to just look over your shoulder, right and left, and just check that you're all clear before you do a turn. So life's just a little bit easier because some boats have got big blind spots, whether it's fridges or fiberglass or whatever structure that is built in the way, and that makes your life a little bit harder. And then it makes, if you're operating the boat or if you're the operator, it makes things a little bit more stressful when they don't necessarily need to be. So come in and let's focus on the dash. Beautifully done. I love how all this is done in grey, a bit of a matte finish, so we're not going to get any reflections back in our face. We've got the Webasto heater, we've got the Garmin autopilot. This is our analogues for the engine. We've got all of our manual switching here. Windscreen wipers and wash are done on switches, which is great. I don't like having to go through flat screens for that sort of thing. Start and stopping the day with house and engine batteries are just done here. We've also got our Fusion. That's your actual start and stop on that side. And then we've got our quick anchor windlass just above the buttons on the port side. 2 flat screen displays, very useful in this part of the world. We do the same thing in Asia, having 2 plotters because you can do a wide view on one and a close view on the other. So that's quite useful. We've got more switching, including our stern anchor operation, and our bow anchor is done via remote control. And then we've got our Volvo Penta diagnostics. This allows us to also use the touch screens without having to touch the screens. Engine throttle, zip wake just there, drink holder, and you've even got a little phone storage tucked right in next to the skipper. And underneath is all our fusing, which is quite logical and simple. And you've got a vent just there for the demister, which gives you a little bit of heat. I'll sit in the seat. I've got it all the way back at the moment. I'm 5'7", so if you're a taller guy or girl, you're going to have plenty of space. And then by operating this lever here, the whole thing will slide forward. So you can kind of decide what suits your body type, obviously, but it's very comfortable. You can lock yourself in this seat just here, and then you have a bit of an arm rest, and you can rest your arm here or here when you're underway. It's quite comfortable. And this window, you just operate it like that, and then it slides forward. So you can communicate to anyone forward, but obviously you've got the option of speaking through the roof as well. This wheel is adjustable, and then we've even got a little bit more storage underneath just there. So that could be good for some instrument covers or even some safety gear should you need. So what we are going to do, we're going to go forward from here. Storage, charging points absolutely everywhere. Obviously we've got the, well, not obviously, we do have diesel heating, I believe, on this boat and demisting, but you can air condition it depending on what part of the world you're in. So this is quite a convenient way to go forward and aft, although we do have the possibility to go forward and aft on the side decks. We'll do that on the way back. But if you're med mooring or if you're Scandinavian mooring, which we haven't done today, but you can essentially pull up to these rocks and tie up to a pole on the rocks and then use your stern anchor. So life is a little bit easier just going through the windscreen and straight forward. But just pay attention how the whole bow is flush. So if you've got any kids or young ones walking around, nobody's going to kick their feet on the anchor setup, which is a little bit of a safety positive. And here's the anchor just here. So that's gives you visibility, and then I'll actually show you Boom, boom. On both sides, I'll open this one as well. There you go. So now you can see your anchor windlass, the stainless steel chain, and we can store extra fenders here. However, there's storage for a total of 8 fenders down at the back of the boat. So depending on what part of the world you're in, you may not require any fender storage up here. It might not be necessary. Cleats, we got 2 midships cleats, so we got 2 sets, I should say, forward and aft midships cleats. We got this sun lounge, that's the escape from the forward cabin down below, and these are all done in closed cell foam, so they will actually double as a little floaty toy if you need. So I think what we'll do, we'll go down the starboard side, and I'll just give you a feel for the safety aspect. We're actually on flexi teak. You can do real teak, and you can also just do GRP if you wish. So just factor that in depending on what part of the world you're in as to what suits you. So we've got a grab hold just here, solar panels over the top just here. I've got the horn, I've got the radar mast and all my instrumentation on top there. It looks like we've got LED navigation lights, and then I've got water in, and these are the aft midships cleats. So we've got the forward midships cleats and then the aft midships cleats. And in terms of from a safety factor, you can sort of just slide your bum here, but you've always got this to hold on to because this rail carries all the way aft just here. And then you've got this step. So you can actually transit both directions down the step, but you've got another grab hold just here. So when you come around the corner, you're not struggling, and then you can hold on here. So like it's pretty good. But check out this stern platform. This is lovely. I think one of my favorite pieces, once again, the corner situation. It's really pleasant, but we've got plenty of space here. So this is the stern anchor that is actually just operated via a rope instead of chain, but I have seen chain set up on these Marex boats as well. So check with your dealer whether that's possible should you require it. But these are the 4 fender storage area on the port side. We do have an electric retractable shore power cable. You just operate that via the button, boom, boom, just there. And then this door just snaps in place like so. And this bigger bench on the starboard side has more storage. We've got the gas locker that's vented, and then 4 fenders over on the starboard side just there. But it doesn't end. It doesn't end. There's a super neat feature just under here. I've never seen one of these. So jump in the comments if you've seen this before. I think it's super cool. So that goes like that. We'll just pull this out and boom, boom. This is for your tender. So there's actually a little winch which attaches on this part of the of this device. I don't even know what we call it. And you can actually winch up your little inflatable tender, rigid inflatable, and then stow it on here, and you're ready to rock and roll. Apparently, they've even had jet skis on the back of these. I'm not sure how that would affect the weight and balance, putting so much weight aft for a jet ski, but hey, you do you. That could be quite fun. And if you're using this boat as a bit of a mothership, that might be a good solution because you can use the jet ski as transport. Look at that swim ladder. So this is designed to hang off the port side deliberately so you can still have your tender storage out of the way, slightly offset to starboard. But they've even thought of this grab handle is strong enough, and this has been designed so you can still pull yourself up and out of the water when this door is open. So that's quite clever. I think that's very, very good. There's so many good ideas on this boat. We've just got a little swim shower, hot and cold, pull out on starboard, which is the logical place. And yeah, it's just, these really are boats built for boaters, is the term one of you guys left in the comments, and I thoroughly agree with it. So I think I've covered everything there. A couple more charging points dotted around for mobile phones, 12 volt. And I think from here, we'll go downstairs, check out all the accommodation, and then we'll come back to the engine bay. It's worth mentioning this companionway sliding door is solid as. It's locked open. You can lock it in that position. Doesn't rattle, and we tested that in some decent waves today. So as you come down these companionway stairs, they actually hinge up and you've got storage below. But underneath me in this space, just where I'm standing right now, the whole floor lifts, and you can even do a custom cellar, as some clients have done in the past. So that's super nice. And we go to starboard head and shower, forward to the master island berth, and then port to the full beam cabin. But come in and let's just check out the head and shower, because it's really, really lovely and so many good ideas. Many towel, hooks, storage, beautiful bench space. This is a neat feature that actually folds up to give you access to the head and then folds down to give you more bench space when you need it. Decent storage in there, beautiful mirror, but we have natural ventilation through this opening hatch here, but we also have an extractor fan in the shower just in here. In terms of space, I'm 5'7", decent amount of room. We have this shower screen on a magnet, so it's really easy to close like that, and then boom, boom, get it out of the way. Access to the dash should you need to do some servicing, and the shower stall, all the water is going to make its way that way to the drain, and then you go over this lip here, so that controls this area. It also drains into here if this area gets wet, and then we have another lip here, so you're not going to get any water entering the boat from this space. I can see a vent for a heater or potentially an air conditioner, depending on what part of the world you're in. So from here we go forward into the master. I'm going to jump on this bed. Marex are doing a really good job with making big, wide, comfortable beds. So look how much space I've got. You could probably do 3 people on this bed if you needed to, but if I did lie this direction, I'm turning some lights off. So you've got heaps of space, but your picture from sitting up in bed, looking through these beautiful, big, fixed hull windows with opening ports after them is very, very pleasant. So if you just want to come down here and hang, it's a lovely place to do it. You've got these little ledges all rounded so no one's going to hurt themselves if the boat's rocking around. You can put some devices here. We've actually got USB-C charging on these electric lights. You've got your switches so you don't have to get out of bed to turn the lights off. We've got down lights. We've got a little bit of nice, fancy material up on the roof there. That's probably also going to absorb any moisture, should it have a tendency to develop, depending on what part of the world you're in. Nice little bins. Just notice how everything has been finished off inside. You see this right throughout the boat. You're not seeing any flow coat or unfinished fiberglass anywhere when you're making your way around these boats. I've literally opened every hatch, and the quality is very, very high. It's lovely. So we've got a little bit of storage in here and here. Underneath me, we've got decent amount of storage. This cushion is actually split and designed to flip over, and then under the aft section of the bed, we've got gas struts, and it's the perfect place to store luggage if you're flying to the plane. So we've obviously got a lot of stuff in here right now, but this will hold a number of carry-on luggage bags or even full-size checked luggage. And underneath there, you've got access into the bow thruster, access into the bilge below me here, and then we've got big hanging locker with drawers, so you could do shoes and all that sort of stuff underneath here. So it's a lovely setup. And if you've got a couple, if you're a couple and you're wanting to live on the boat for a decent amount of time, you're going to be super comfortable on this, and you'll have the ability to invite guests, because this cabin, I don't know, you jump in the comments, would you use this as your master, or would this be the guest cabin? Because it's a very big bed. That's a nice feature, having the seat just there, the beautiful big fixed hull window with a opening port forward of that. And you've even got this space, before I sit on the bed, you've got this space forward with 6 hooks, so you can do all your beach towels and your bath towels and all that sort of stuff. Every single cabin has got multiple hooks. I can see another one aft here, big storage. I'll just hold that and let you see. and big. Look at that, hanging storage just there. And then drawers, all on the soft close. And I like how all these doors are on the magnet, so you don't have to reach down and get a hook. Even underneath this seat, you've got storage. And look, come and have a look. See, it's all been finished off beautifully. That's not rough and ready like you see on the mass market production boats. So come on down here. So get a load of how big this bed is. It's huge. So I think this is probably the head of the bed because we've got more space. You could technically sit up if you got a few cushions. That's possible. But you've got these lovely fixed hull windows, but an opening port there, an opening port there. We've got deep bins on either side. Same again on starboard. We've got drawers. We've got another drawer here. Good ledge for your phones. Extra lights, and there's blackout blinds because we are in Norway and the sun never goes down in summer. You can totally black out the sun in every single cabin. So these are proper dark blinds. They work really well, and we can, underneath this mattress, we could get access into the bilge. So no part of this boat is hidden away from a service and maintenance perspective. So I think from here, let's go and check out the engine bay and we'll wrap this video. So it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not the end of the world. You just got to fold this seat up, take the cushion off, spin the table around. The gas struts are super strong. You can actually just pull this up one person with one arm because the gas struts take over very quickly. Then you probably want to go down this little step ladder. So as you can see, we're running the single D6 440. You can have twin engine options. There are multiple options, and we can also do V-drive shaft, single or twin. So depending on what part of the world you are in, you need to work out which engine option is going to suit you best. There are pros and cons to both, and I cover a little bit of that in the test drive video. So the fuel tank on this boat is on the center line going forward. So the weight is in a nice part of the boat. That also allows us more space. Let me grab this camera to mount equipment and also give you or your mechanic space to move around. So we're just looking at the batteries there on port, making our way. That's a diesel blow heater. This is the box for the line for the stern anchor. So anyone outside of the probably northern hemisphere isn't necessarily going to know what that's all about, but check it out in some of the other videos or the test drive because it is super handy on, in my opinion, a lot of boats. We could use that all around the world. So you've got a huge amount of access above and on both sides. Insulation is fantastic and the level of fit and finish is top notch. So just going around to the Victron. There's the battery charger, fireboy, fuel filter, and hot water tank tucked in up here. That's on starboard looking forward. Pretty no nonsense. So that's the Marex 360 Cabriolet. I struggle with that word, cruiser. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let's sit down and wrap this video up here. The test drive's coming up next. So if you do like the look of this baby, we take it for a spin in some really rough conditions. I love having those opportunities because everyone, all the journalists, they do it in perfect, beautiful, everything's perfect days. And let's face it, you don't necessarily learn a lot out of that. So I do enjoy those experiences. So who is best suited to this boat, or who may see the most value from something like this? I definitely think couples. I definitely think couples of any age group, older, younger, somewhere in the middle, you are gonna love this layout, this space, those cabins, and this size of boat. It's so, it's in a bit of a sweet spot, I think. So couples, families with kids without a doubt, because you've just got the one door there. It's a nice high side. If you're worried about little tackers, when I say that, I mean kids running around and potentially getting or jumping in the water without you knowing, you can control their access to the water via the one big door there. And also, if you've got pets to think about, there's another design that's going to enclose your dog without you necessarily having to worry about that. So that's kind of good. Also, If you are coming from a mass market production boat, you know, one of the French brands, for example, and you're looking for something that's a real noticeable step up in quality, you're going to see a lot of value in this. So whereas you might have been keeping your previous boats for 1 or 2 seasons and then knowing that you've got to roll it over before you start to have problems that you need to attend to, I see a boat like this as something that you could keep for decades or a lifetime if you were that way inclined, because it's just built to last. So if that's important to you, consider that. So a couple of feedbacks on the design. This lounge area, I think that's just one of the massive highlights. Incorporating corners. As you can see, I'm on the transom, navigator's seat up forward, and in here and even downstairs in the guest cabin, there's corners to be relaxed and enjoyed everywhere on this boat. All the corners, it's like everything has been designed with comfort and relaxing in mind. I like that. It's really good. Your views all around from the helm. So I think it's a safe design. This is a fast boat. We do have the capability to get up and boogie. And if you're in a busy waterway, it's nice to be able to look around and see what's going on around you. That's not always the possibility in some designs of boats, because they put big supports for targa arches and different stylistic things which become a bit of a hindrance to your visibility. Can be a little bit unsafe. The galley. I love having a galley that feels like it should be on a 45-foot boat on something, you know, 36, 37 feet instead. So having that fold up in the middle, keeping that in the heart of the boat, that would be a lot of fun. And if you want to, you know, really do a bit of cooking and enjoying and entertaining, or even if you just want to order food and you know, load it all up on the kitchen table there, I think that is great. Considerations for you if you're a buyer. Engine access in the twins, just consider that. We're only just operating the single today, and also consider which engine options or which engine types, drive systems are going to suit you. In some parts of the world, you might see the V-drive shaft as more of an advantage because you're going to leave it in the water all year round. I'm thinking Sydney, I'm thinking Florida. In other parts of the world, maybe you want the extra maneuverability of a stern drive, the tighter turns, arguably a little bit more fun to drive, but a little bit more work to look after. So if you're in a location like this, where you're going to be winterizing it and sticking it in a shed, that's totally fine because it's to be expected. If you are getting the stern drives and you want to solo operate or as close to, consider the Mercury over the Volvo because they do have the joystick option and you can do the station hold. But yeah, consult a professional. Talk to me on Marex if you need an answer on that, because that may be sort of the one piece of technology that makes your life that much easier, depending on where and how you berth your boats, because every boat and every location is different. So if you want to see how it drives, we do some berthing. We do take it out in some big waves, short, sharp, little choppy stuff. It's all good fun. It's quite an enjoyable boat to drive, this one. That's coming up in the next video. So click on the link coming up on your screen right now, and I will see you there. Thanks, legends. See ya.